I'm challenging myself to transform my Guild Wars 2 homestead into a cozy enchanted forest. But first, a huge thank you to arenanet for sponsoring today's video. If you're new to Guild Wars 2, homesteads are an account-wide personal housing instance that you unlock with the Enchanted Wilds expansion. As you level up your homestead masteries, you're able to craft decorations, furniture, plant life, and structures to customize your plot of land. Currently, there are 2 housing plots available: the Cozy Cottage of Hearth's Glow, which is unlocked through the Enchanted Wilds storyline, and the stunning Camosis Isle is available if you own both Enchanted Wilds and Visions of Eternity. Forests have always inspired me, from Tolkien's golden wood of Lothlorien to the charming woodlands of Beatrix Potter's illustrations, to standing in awe beneath the ancient trees in England's Puzzlewood, where I couldn't help but admire God's incredible creativity. I've always been captivated by places that feel full of wonder. With this challenge, I want to create a place that feels like it's stepping into one of those worlds. A fantasy realm inspired by my favorite stories and forests, filled with towering trees, carpets of moss, winding woodland paths, wildflowers, and we cannot forget some whimsy and magic. So with that, go grab yourself a cozy mug of tea, snuggle up, and let's see what we can create in the Guild Wars 2 homestead system. This is the homestead I currently have active, and it has a bunch of structures on it by default. But for my plans, I'm going to just remove it all and start from scratch. I plan to create a tree house that can be my character's little cozy hideaway in the forest. So if you want to quickly remove all of the items on your homestead, go over here to your options and you click Clear All Decorations. It'll prompt you, are you sure? And there we go. So everything that's left on the island cannot be moved around, unfortunately. So now that we have a blank slate, you come over here and you go to your handiwork workbench. And in this menu, you have all of the recipes that you have unlocked. And I'm going to start with the main trees of my forest, which are going to be the drizzlewood host trees. I really like the thick ones because they look like ancient trees. So this is where you spawn in. I'm thinking that we need to create the forest path starting here. To actually enter build mode, you can hit L or click over here on decorate. There's also a flying mode, which turns you into a little bee. And it's like the equivalent of Minecraft's creative mode where you can fly around and place things. So you could actually build as a little bee, which is very cute. To access the decorations, you click on this painter's palette here. And these are all the decorations that you have crafted. We'll start with the thick drizzlewood coast tree. You click on it, and then you click place, and then you can move it around with your mouse. This first placement is very important. I think we'll place the first one right here. Okay, so this is the standard size for it, but you can click down here on Modify Existing Decorations, select it, and then I'm going to scale it. Could make it this big, but it's so close to the border of where you can build. Let's move it so we can show how big it can get. To confirm it, you just click the first skill again. There we go. I don't know if I'll keep all the trees this giant. I do want to see if I like them that big, because I think they're really cool. Yeah, I think I like how big these are. I will have to get creative with turning this sand into grass and moss. Okay, this is where we're at so far. I added this bridge to go across this water here. I thought it would be nice that I can have a pretty direct path to my workbench and resources over there. This is the green tree, and I like how it adds a really nice pop of green lower down. What I was saying earlier about turning this sand into grass. Currently, there's no recipe for green grass. There's just this yellow grass, and while it's nice, it's just not the aesthetic for a green, lush forest. Maybe I'll add some pops of it somewhere. but I found online if you craft mossy pillars, this is what they look like. But if you place it, modify it, rotate it, so it's upside down, scale it as big as it'll go, you now have a block that looks like moss. This is the part I think is going to be a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it. To do this, I'm going to have to find the highest spot of the ground, which is probably around here, and then sort of flatten everything out. So we'll see what we can do with that a little bit later, but I just wanted to show off how this is a clever way to get grass. One way that you can easily duplicate this position in a new item is you select it, and then you click Place Duplicate, and then you can select that one, and then you just move it. Now we have two of them. This is definitely what I want to avoid. I don't want to be able to see the seams, so I'm going to have to play around with them. Let's see, I could rotate this. We may have to squint in some cases. I've been playing around with this for a little bit, and this is what I've come up with. Placing these pillars and making them not look like blocks is very difficult, and I'm struggling with it. I'm hoping the more plant life I add, it'll conceal stuff like this. I use the graveyard path here, and I think it also helps to conceal some of the seams. And to help break up these harsh lines, I've started adding the meditative lucky rocks. We can take it here. We place one on the edge here. Let's modify it. Let's kind of like bring it down. Maybe rotate it a little. And that helps to conceal these edges. If you look at it from this angle and squint, you can't tell, but don't look over this way because that is a mess. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Oh, that does not look good. I'll figure something out. It's going to look great. I feel like I need to maybe erase some decorations. You do this by clicking on the erase here. You have to be careful because you can accidentally erase more than what you want. There's an X-ray vision here, and you can see all of the items. So let's try this again. I feel like I don't need that. All right, I'm gonna erase this one as well. Let's just start from scratch. Duplicating this one. Let's see, I can move this here. There, now that's smooth. I'm still learning the modify tool. I think if I move this and then I click place duplicate. There. Now I have this issue. Okay, that's not too bad. I need to bring it up a little bit. There. Okay, that looks nice. Let's scale this a little bit. Now we have this problem. Let's try to rotate this a little bit. Now it's crooked. You know what? Sometimes I like to just start again. Let's take this bridge and rotate it by holding click. There we go. And under here, I'll just have to put some boulders along here to conceal the edges of this. We still have this problem, but maybe I can kind of make it like a hill that you go up. I went around the edge and I added more of the meditative rocks. I added some branchless bushes along the edges here to kind of break up that harsh line. Yeah, I really like how this is turning out. I even left the edge of this mossy pillar because I felt like it looked like a little step up. Okay, so I started making this glade. I like how this turned out. I have been using the branchless bush to kind of block the horizon, and I think it makes everything feel more enclosed and cozy. Here's the little tunnel of trees I've been working on. And I've started to edit these trees so that they're not all perfectly straight. Add like a little bit of a lean to them. I've also been doing some thinking. Okay, I've been doing some thinking because this took me probably an hour. Just this little spot. So you can imagine how long is this going to take me? Okay? Maybe I don't do this. Look, I'm gonna try, but I did lose my mind a little bit on some of it. I will probably get better at it as I go. However, hear me out. The sand doesn't look too bad at night. It kind of looks like a dirt path. Okay, maybe we can get away with it. And maybe I just have parts of it have moss. I don't know, but I mean, this looks so good. I'm not going to destroy all this. Like, I worked too hard on this and I really like how this looks. So maybe I just do sections of it have the moss grass. I don't know. Oh, but it looks so good right here. All right. I'm gonna do it. I've been working on spacing out the trees so they have more breathing room, and I'll probably do the same to this section because I was realizing that trees in real life usually don't grow that close to each other, but I was trying to create like a wall to block off parts of the island. I've created a little enclosure with the Coden cottage walls. I love how Celtic these walls look. They're so mossy. They have little stones in them. So down this lane, I'm trying to thin out the trees, but still make everything feel enclosed. I don't want like empty space, so I'm thinking in places like this, I could take this, move it maybe like right here, and duplicate it. Kind of blocks off the empty space out there. I think I'll also add some more of these shrubs, perhaps. You do that. How's that look? Yeah, I like that. Duplicate that. Perfect. I think I need something right here to break up these two trees. Let's try a green tree. See how that looks. Okay, yeah, I like that. Again, I need something right there. Do we have Bigfoot living in our woods? Why are there shadowy footprints? There we go. That's a bit better. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more and check back in a bit. Are we ready to see the progress I've made? I have continued to fill out the ground, the mossy pillars. It has been a great challenge, but I filled it out and I edged it with these mossy meditative rocks. And so now we have this pretty pool of water. I've continued putting the paths through here. Don't look at that. I have added some of the island shrubs, I think is what they're called. Let's see. The tropical shrub, which look like ferns. Let's place them here and there. Oh, I love it so much. I don't even know how long this took me. I was working on it and I just got sucked in. It is so much fun. And here I started making another glade and I added a dock. Look at it. Oh, that's beautiful. Over here, I'm thinking I might build my tree house in the center here. Because this is like near where my workbench and collections are and where my mounts are. And then I haven't done much more this way. I don't think I've showed you this yet. This is already here and I'm just gonna keep it as like the magic. Well, the magic literally is escaping the ley line magic. Oh, look, there's a little froggy. But here's where my harvesting collection box is, and I want to do something with this. Look at that. Beautiful. But It's currently midnight, past midnight. I have just been working nonstop. I'm not even noticed the time. I think it's time for bed, and I'll be back tomorrow to keep working on this. But I really love everything I've accomplished on day one. Does that look structurally sound to you? Me either. You come up here, and here we are to my cozy treehouse. Now, I have some plans for the decor inside of here, but I will get to that later. I think I need to move on to something else right now, but I am very pleased with how this turned out. And definitely, don't look too closely. I need to fix that. Did that do it? Yeah, that's good. Don't look at that. That's off center, but it's not over here. Oh, it looks so good. I'm glad that I chose to put it right here. I felt like this was a good spot for it. This place is coming together and it doesn't even look recognizable. We're not even done, okay? You think that this is getting close to being done? We're not done. Lots of magical, whimsical details I still plan to add. I'd want to live here. Let's continue filling this area up with the moss. I have been working all day on placing mossy pillars all over the ground. I almost used 250 mossy pillars. Do you want to see what I've done? It's not finished, but wow, what a difference this made. I still need to add more details along the path here to fill it out. It looks so good. I have to decide what I want to put here. Maybe I put like a whimsical tea party. I think my next step is to continue filling out this area. I'll work on that tonight, and I'll share with you tomorrow what I come up with. After countless hours of building, I think it's finally finished. Are you ready for the reveal? Welcome to the Enchanted Forest. I absolutely love it. It's glorious. It is so... I love how this turned out. I could just sit here and like stare at this. What? This is the tropical island. This is the tropical island. What? Go back to the beginning of this video. It I did this. Now, I didn't do the whole island, obviously. So you know, it is what it is on the outskirts, but I'm fine just having a tiny section be my enchanted forest. Something I love that I added are these, I think they're called, these are seer lamps. I sized them down to as tiny as they would go, and they look like little fireflies or will-o-wisps. I think it adds something so magical. I only used about 50 of them, so I'm hoping someday I could add more and just have this whole place be fireflies along this path. Like, I could do more, but I ran out of time and resources, so these are divinity lamps, and I love how they look. We have some verdant lamps here. You could turn those off, but I like them glowing. Over here is my portal area, and there's a dead bird. I have some cats on the island. It's cool because I'll see them just like walking along the paths. I used, I think 250 of these tropical shrubs. We have these flowers dotted throughout. These are the blooming moa ferns. There's a kitty! I like how this turned out. Go over here is my little well, and look, I used galleon doors and verdant windows, and I made the trees look like fairy houses, and I just love that so much. It's so whimsical. Look at it. It's like little fairies live in here. It's almost like you're a little fairy yourself because of how big these trees are. I love these flowers. I only used about 50 of them. These are the potted blue orchids. Here, oh, I loved this. This is something I added in last minute. Yeah, I leaned this up against this tree, and I added the graveyard fog, and I also added academic lights. These are like the seer lamps, except they actually have light, and it just kind of lit up this area. Because you know, in video games where when the devs want you to see something or go towards a place, they will like draw your eyes with light. So I was kind of trying to do that. Like your eye is drawn over here because there's light. Over here I have the statue of Belandrew next to where all this magic is like brimming out of the earth. And I thought it could be like Melandrew's power coursing through this forest. I used another little academic light right here because I wanted to light her up a little bit. Over here is where my collection box is, and then I continued the fog down through here. I added more of the academic lights to this area so it would kind of illuminate the waterfall. It looks so mysterious. I almost want to add something eventually in this water. That would be cool. Back over here to the beginning, we have the bridge. We're just gonna pretend that these crops get enough light. It's all make-believe and magical. And we're just also gonna ignore any of the seams. If you see it, no you didn't. Over here, I added this like Celtic whorl. That was fun to make. And then I added like I think they're just braziers. I got this inspiration from my Minecraft builds. I'm always hanging lanterns from iron chains at different levels on my builds, so I was kind of inspired by that here. And I love how magical it looks. And then these are like the festive string lights, I think in the Winter's Day decoration sets. But let's ascend the stairs to my magical treehouse hideaway. I want to live here. Little table and pillow cushions where you could have tea, a place to chat with friends, portrait of Logan Thackeray, of course. And we're just gonna pretend that this fireplace has a chimney. It's all make-believe here, but I love how cozy this turned out. I used the vined lattices, I think is what they're called, as like a little room divider. to the bedroom. And then over here is like a writing desk and all the various potted plants that the commander would have collected over the years of places that she visited. And then I have something I'm really excited to show off. I love how this turned out. It looks like my desk setup. I had so much fun creating this. I added one of my legendary weapons. There's this like a weapon display stand. I turned it upside down and it's there. I wasn't really sure how to conceal that. I just decided whatever, it doesn't look too bad. And then I added this, I don't even remember what this is. What is that? This is like one of these wall brackets. I shrunk it down to as small as it would go and it looks like a shelf. Of course I have candles, little trinkets and flowers. And this is like the flower lamp I have on my desk. I have some books and of course some garland. This is one of like the portraits, like one of these, and I made it look like my framed monitor. I just love it. My bookshelf here, you can craft books and I hand placed every single one of these books and I placed all these little trinkets and stuff. That was a lot of fun to do. Back down here, this is where my workstation is, where you can craft. And then this is the logging collection box and the mining collection. And I added a teleporter here and it takes me over here to my harvesting collection box. So convenient, except now I have to fly all the way back because I don't have a teleporter to go back because it's a one-way trip. Over here is my mount pin. I didn't do much with it, but I don't know. I like how it is, just kind of open, a place for them to run around. Over here, I have a very whimsical tea party or feast, and I love how this turned out. I have this green tree and I leaned it. I got a lot of inspiration from Pinterest on this design, but I wanted all the chairs to be mismatched and woodsy. And then I have the hanging braziers from the tree. I'll stand on the table. We have like, these are Coden cauldrons, I think, and they are really big when you make them, but I size them down to be tiny little soup bowls. But I use like the Coden table settings, candles, canthan bottles, the tea set. Oh, and these are carpets. I think it's like a canthan floral rug or something. I just sized them down to like be tiny placemats or a table runner or whatever. This is the Coden feast, I think. I would love to have an evening with friends there. That looks like a good time. Oh, I forgot to show you. Underneath the treehouse, I have the Coden bath, like a little bath area. If you follow this path, continue this way, I have this magical glade with a giant canthan cherry tree. And I added a ring of flowers around it, kind of like a fairy ring. I used the academic lights as little orbs dotted throughout to illuminate the entire tree. Pink petals already kind of glowed in the dark, but I illuminated this whole area with the lamps dotted throughout, and it kind of looks like little fairies dancing around or something. If you come over this way, I have a path that goes to my other resource nodes, and I put a bridge across the water. I have a little owl statue here. Now, if you go up this path past the cherry tree and you're quiet, you'll come upon some little fairies dancing around a mushroom ring. I love how this turned out. It's so cute. I used the hollow dancers and I sized them down to be very tiny, and I dotted them throughout, and I thought it looked like little fairies dancing in the moonlight. These are the various mushrooms available. There's like 3 different kinds, and I sized them down as small as they would go. I don't know, it makes you feel like you're a fairy. Like the size difference. You're a little fairy now too. I don't know, I think this might be one of my favorite parts. Though I could probably say that about any part. I don't know. I love everything. I'm really proud of how my homestead turned out, and I had so much fun bringing this enchanted forest to life. I was really challenged creatively. I had to problem solve, but I love how freeform the homestead system is, where I can turn one item into something completely different, like the mossy pillars into a forest floor. Looking at where this tropical island started to where it is now, it is just unrecognizable. And that's really cool. I want to say another huge thank you to arenanet for sponsoring this video and giving me this opportunity. I have been playing the Guild Wars franchise since 2005, and ever since my youth, working with arenanet has genuinely been a dream of mine. So when they reached out, I was beside myself in excitement. Teenage Anna is literally losing her mind right now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it has inspired you to create your own enchanted forest in Guild Wars 2. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.